Hi Libra, I hope you are well. Okay, this was, um, it's a unique reading, and it's funny because yesterday I did Aries and Taurus, and they were similar. So watch either of those. When I do the readings, I give you the house to look back at. So if something is going on, it's usually looking at you from your polarity point, which is the opposite house, okay? So you're reading though now, please, no disrespect, because there's something going on in here where there's someone is not uh, functioning correctly mentally at the moment, right? And something may have crossed your path recently, or it may be something you're in the middle of, or something that you found out about, or someone may have asked for a divorce, or it's something to do with a relationship dynamic, but someone is spiraling out of control here. Okay, so take this from whatever angle it is for you. I actually pulled additional cards as well. And what I'm really feeling here is that there's a relationship that has gone awry, but it's not one that was just like a surprise. It's a relationship that has been up and down and up and down, and there's been a lot of pain and aggravation and suffering through this. Now, yesterday, when I read for one of the two signs, just bear with me because it plays a role here. There was a pattern. I actually had to pull additional cards with one of those readings too. I think it was Taurus. I think. But it was a relationship where it was a karmic relationship that was really supposed to be teaching you something. You know what I mean? But it was one of the people in there it loops around from relationship to relationship. But the MO is that what the person is really looking for in and outside, you're looking for it, what you're missing in a relationship. You think that that's going to provide for you, and take this from whatever side you're on, or not at all if it doesn't fit. But the flavor is very much in here. However, here is where I feel a lot of the things I just had to keep pulling to get yesterday. It sits in your reading. So if you're consecutively in and out of relationships that have the same kind of pattern, right? You're going into these relationships as some kind of facade. And it's ironic that you actually have those cards too. I'll show you that. But I think what it is that there's something in here that happened long ago to either you, or if you're on the receiving end, to the person that you're dating, or you were married to, or are married to, or whatever, but that's not been addressed. It's not been healed. So the piece of the puzzle that you're trying to fill that void with, you're trying to do that through these different relationships, but you're finding the same kind of thing no matter what relationship you get in. They're not fulfilling because the piece of you is not really showing up, right? Now, the cards that we have here, for extras, I pulled bittersweet and facade. Okay, this is just saying in the midst of something that's going on, there is a silver lining here, right? Like example would be this, someone is it's for your better good that this stops. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that I have a feeling this was so painful that it's the catalyst that you now have no choice but to address what this is. Because I think that this could really spiral out of control here. And it's funny because, not funny, haha, but I pulled 4 cards to get the direction here. You've got the 8 of coins, right, which is what you're going to. The 8 of coins is a card, though, that 8s are maxed out. When you get to an 8, you're done. You have to go on from there. Okay, the 8 of coins is a card of, it can be a card of, it's a marriage card. It's also a card, though, that can say, I'm trying to organize my life. And it's like a lot of things you're trying to pull together in here. But that's where, you're going towards that. You know what I mean? So you're going to get a handle here. So whatever is happening, I have a feeling is like it's not an easy thing. Okay, now you've got the Five of Swords in here, which I'm pretty sure one of those readings yesterday also got the Five of Swords. Okay, that's in here. It's the underlying thing of needing to take responsibility for things, how you show up, how you communicate. You know what I mean? If you feel like you've been victimized, you're coming at people with either both barrels loaded, or saying things you don't mean, or hurtful things. Someone is spewing venom here because they're extremely hurt. They've not dealt with something, or they really need to just, and I can't even say in this reading it's someone who really just needs to grow up. That's obvious, but it's a painful thing. Like, this is not something that someone does on purpose. They've got some kind of detachment, really, from who they are inside, and it's something that somehow they act out in relationships. Like, they become, it would be someone that would become, extremely obsessed with someone after like the first date, or they truly think they fall in love with someone after the first date, or it's not good. The platform is not balanced at all. Now, we've got the Queen of Swords in here too, which could be a divorce card for sure. And you've got the Three of Swords in reverse. This card in reverse, even in tarot, in reverse, that card means upright. I should say it's a delay. It's just saying there's a delay here, right? In the reverse, it says that you need to go a different way, because this delay is it's a done deal. It's not going to come back around. Okay. The good news is that Eight of Coins, you'll go on from here. Okay, so coins two, you've got Three Swords here, and when I pulled those cards, I got a little bit of a chill, because with playing cards, swords speak of your body, and you've got three of them. And I've also got other cards that pull in here that speak about not mental, your mental state, or someone in here's mental state is really not where it needs to be. It's kind of in not a really a good spot. Okay. And with Three Swords, with what I've got as the tarot cards, it says that, someone could be on the verge of like having a nervous breakdown, or something really pushes. I think whatever the situation is about to push someone past their breaking point. Okay. That's what I've got for cards in that kind of scenario. Now we've got in here the Four of Coins, which is called a present. I'm pretty sure one of those signs yesterday got this too, but I think what it is in here is it can be like this is a saving grace. You know what I mean? Like, the present is this nightmare that you're in, but the underlying of that in the moment is that you've got to grieve your losses here. Like, this is something that I think is the straw that broke like years of something here for you. Like, it brings everything that's been inside front and center, and this person has no choice right now but to address this. Okay. And it speaks of, I really feel like you're grieving something here, that you've got to realize that, maybe in the relationships, you're looking for your security, but you think you're only going to attain that through relationships. That it sounds like a funny thing to some people, that could give or take relationships, but to some people, they really thrive. They need a relationship. It's different for everyone. And in here, I think that this is what the person really thought. Like, I can't look at it this way too. Depending upon where this sits, a lot of Libras mirror themselves through the relationships that they're in. So you may have been a chameleon to many different people, and now it's like the nervous breakdown is, who the hell am I? The identity crisis, right? That's a scary thing. Okay. Now, in the past here, you've got the marriage card. Okay. So it can speak of, though, a relationship that you kind of went with the flow, but it was definitely a tumultuous relationship. I feel there was a lot of ups and downs in this. So if this was a marriage or a relationship, whatever it was long, it was, for a bit of time, but it was extremely tumultuous. Okay. Now in your immediate future, you've got the Four of Cups here. Okay, this also, again, it's not a card of boredom in here. I don't really feel. I think that I feel like it's just, it's not a card of boredom in here. It's a card of not being able to get your thoughts in the right place. Okay, and sometimes it's in the immediate future too. So, you may need to, this may be not for you. This may be someone in your surroundings here where you need to kind of get help for this person, or it's something oriented in here where you're going to need to do something maybe for someone else. Like you're going to maybe hear through the grapevine something here. Someone is really obsessing, overthinking on something. Now here's where it kind of, where all the swords come in, because what you're really not seeing here is, I think this is some kind of, again, I don't want to say addictive, but it's some kind of a, I feel, long ingrained. You may not even realize this until now, but it's an obsession, maybe, right? It could be an obsession. I think what it is you are, or somebody is obsessed with a person. And I think that this is kind of like it's unhealthy in how this is, okay? Because you've got here the betrayal card, okay? And I had to clarify that because I couldn't tell if someone is about to set you up or whether you're about to do this, or it's just not an honesty card. It's like, it's I think though too, it could be not being honest with yourself, not really looking at what is happening here. So I clarified it, and what we have here, this is the Fool in reverse. Okay, this speaks of, again, someone not being in the right mindset. Okay, and it's falling in something here where I feel it's really about obsessive qualities here, like things like that. Please don't take offense, because this in here, there's no way that it won't surface. There's absolutely not. So I'm giving you a heads up here, because if this is a you, just realize that what you're feeling, give it its due. Take some, get a handle on this here, because this stuff isn't something that just showed up in this one relationship. This is something that, you either you're trying to recover from something maybe as childhood. This is something though that is just like, or this is just, it's just dangerously unhealthy. Okay, and long-term opportunities here, you've got you've got the Magician in reverse, and that speaks of mental illness. Okay, it can also speak of you've got to change tracks here. Okay, so maybe hearing this, you can get ahead of this and you can get some help for whatever this is. But again, we've got facade and bittersweet, which means that you're not, it's not being able to see something for what it really is. Okay, like it's not, it can speak of, it isn't what it really is. So in the midst of maybe one thing being good, this is happening, right? Like this could be someone in your family too, in the midst of like someone giving birth to a child, someone in the family is got dementia or has some kind of, you're starting to notice some kind of mental illness, unstable there. But it's about, again, realizing that you've got to know who you are first before you can be, that in a relationship. I think there's something here too where you may not show up as who you really are in relationships. Like if this person really knew me, they wouldn't, but what's happening here is it's not playing out that way. We have to address these things. These things get out of control like this if they're not dealt with. Again, messages for here. I think too, what could happen here is when we don't shut our mind down, when our mind doesn't have a resting spot, we can make ourselves insane, right? It can absolutely happen like that. Okay, so stop overthinking something. New paths are coming here, and I really feel that they are. But this is don't think you're the victim, or it can be too where someone gets into these relationships over and over and over again, and they've taken quite a beating over time, right? And now it's they have reverted to the victim role. But this is deeper than that. This isn't like your first time out or someone's first time out. This is something that has been repetitive, and it's to the point now where it's got to be dealt with. And again, like that 3 of Swords in reverse, that's more than a roadblock. That's saying the road is done here. Like this is a dead end. You're not going to get past here. But I really feel that there's a blessing in this, because this is setting you up to now, take a look at this stuff, address this stuff, so that you can be happy and get into, a healthy relationship and live a happy, healthy life, right? Again, I really feel like this was a relationship with a lot of tumultuous up and down here. Again, I really feel like this person, whatever side you're on, I think that someone always thinks like, I don't know how to explain this. Someone maybe in this equation, someone repetitively cheats in the relationship, right? But every time they come back, they say, I'm done. I won't do that again. And the person takes them back. Now, I can't tell which end of the coin whoever is on, okay? But this is just saying that someone does this, but they're always on the verge of being sorry for it. You know what I mean? Like something like that I kind of feel in here. So, someone too in here, again, I'm not an advocate of cheating in any way, shape, or form. I'm just saying that I don't feel like someone is mentally above board here. So I wouldn't press this. My suggestion is that this is something that needs medical attention, because this is something that, a lot of times there's a difference between depression and this. This is like a traumatic event that needs medical attention, would be my suggestion, because this is tough. This is really tough. This is like trauma, not depression, right? But it's showing up because it's been stuffed down for so long. But I think that whatever happened here was like the last straw, and now, like the Jack in the Box that you wind up, the head is popping out now. I think someone was obsessed with someone. I've got to be honest. And I think that they're now on the verge of having, some kind of breakdown here. I think someone too thinks that, clearly there's a relationship ending here. But I think that someone also is kind of in panic mode now, because they think that they're never going to be happy again. Think back to, remember when you were in high school and you had your first boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever, and then it didn't, you broke up and you thought, oh my God, I will die. We're not going to die because we're adults now. We've realized that. But that feeling, we all can remember that. That's what I feel in here. So for some of you, if you've got a child, check in on your kids, see how they're, something in that regard may be going on in their marriage or their relationships, or they may be in a situation like that. Either way, this scenario is playing out in your periphery. So you will know about this, but I think it's in the midst of, like I say, a bittersweet scenario. Someone could be getting married while someone's getting divorced. Someone could be having a child while this is going on. There's a mixed dynamic here, but I think it's all happening at the same time. Someone has got a very, and no disrespect, but there's a skewed view in here of what security and control is, and it's a skewed feeling in here. I think someone tries to maybe force their side of something, and it's just a lot of unbalanced things here. But I think the cycle of this has like come to where you're going to notice this now. I know me saying something in a tarot reading is not going to help this scenario, but it's a way of accepting things in a different way, looking at something different, realizing that, you know, we all have something. So in this scenario, though, it's time to change your tracks, because if you don't, or if someone doesn't, this is going to become like it could become like a real health issue. I think, you know, someone really wants something to be a certain way, but it's not going to be that way. And I think that this skewed view is where that's coming from. I think someone is thinking something should be a certain way, and it's not playing out like that. You know, maybe it's something that they saw, or how they perceive something should be, and it's not coming together. Where I see this kind of stuff is where someone would have a really tumultuous childhood, and they do everything in their power to try to get away from that. So what's happening is they're running away from something. But what happens when it chases us? We end up where this kind of scenario would be, where we're looking at our lives and we're like, holy crap, I married one of my dysfunctional parents. Like, you've mirrored what you were trying to get away from. You realize now, crap, I walked straight into this storm like that, right? So that's kind of what I'm seeing here. Disappointment, fear, being victimized or victimizing someone. I'm so sorry to have to deliver this, but I can't not, and I'm sorry. I've got to put it out here. It's a you know, something has finally pushed someone to the breaking point. The positive on that is now you fix it. Now you get a handle on it. Now you get some help for it. Okay? And if you're the person that this is, you think, I'm on the verge of this, go talk to someone. Go get some help. A day, these things pass. This won't always feel like that. That's why I use that analogy of the child, the high school, you know, I will die. You won't. You think you will, but you won't. You'll get it together. But this is, again, it's about, you know, getting some help for someone here, because they're not able to do this themselves. So I don't know what side of the coin you're on, but, you know, the silver lining here is to now get some help for yourself. Because to be honest with you, now knowing the story, pulling these 3 cards they're not good. They're not good at all. And this is saying too, there's, you know, I'm not able to put I'm not able to pull this together. I'm not able to orchestrate this. And that's okay. You know, that's why there's professionals that can help you orchestrate things, you know, and the difference a day makes. This will change, but it's been like a lot of not nice things, a lot of unpleasantries are happening here. But whatever it is, it's an extreme imbalance, you know. So I hope that I helped you in some way. I mean, I'm not equipped, honestly, legally either, to handle something like this. But if you're on the receiving end and this is the scenario you're in, I'm more than happy to help you with that. But this right here is someone who needs professional help, not a tarot reader. So I hope that helps you in some way. I am so sorry to have to, if this doesn't resonate with you, please check your other signs. Okay, so we've got some action going on down in this end of the chart. So I honestly can't say I'm surprised, but the good thing is that this can be cleared up, you know. So but there's some kind of disassociation here. So I really feel that this person is not able to comprehend this. So if you're on the other side, my suggestion is you're talking to deaf ears. If you're talking to this person, just get them some help, because it's not at a point where you can talk out of this. This is someone who they're really hurting. So there you go. I hope that I helped you in some way. I am so sorry, Libra.